Once again, my name is John Brenneman. I am the president here at MOAA Vacations. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We are joined by our great partner, Collette Vacations. In just a few minutes, I'm going to turn it over to Jim Edwards, who's with Collette, who's going to talk to us not only about Collette, but specifically those two group departures, which I'm sure piqued a lot of your interest, which is Canadian Rockies by train, and then the islands of New England. Before we get started, just a couple little things I wanted to go over. First off, we are taping this presentation. So later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning, we will send everyone a copy of this presentation. So in case you want to review it. I do always want to emphasize that all of the special offers that we have, as well as any of the group departures that we have, are open not only to MOAA members, but any of your friends and family who would like to join you. And if your friends and family go, they're more than welcome to be part of the group, and they would get all of the special MOAA savings offers and amenities that we offer, not only on Collette, but all the tour companies, all the cruise lines. Basically, anyone traveling with you, the benefits that you as a MOAA member would receive. When you receive a copy of the webinar, if you'd like to send it to friends and family, feel free to go ahead and forward that along to them. The only other thing I wanted to mention is that we have a number of what we call our preferred partners. Collette's one of those, and we have an amenity program. So in addition to offering a satisfaction guarantee, and as part of that satisfaction guarantee, of course, there's a best price guarantee, because no one would ever be satisfied if they pay too much. We also have a program with partners such as Collette where we have amenities basically as a reward for being a member of MOAA and for your past service that apply to every tour. So with Collette, that is a $50 or $100 discount. I know Jim will mention that again in a little bit, but it's so important that I always want to bring it up. We actually have 23 different vendors that offer a discount to MOAA members on every trip that they provide. So basically it's kind of like a reward amenity. I know we had a couple more people pop in real quick. Thank you for joining us. The one other thing I always like to have people kind of think about as we're going through not only Collette, but the tours, and that's that we're highlighting two dates that are MOAA group departures. And this is a great opportunity for you to go and see the Canadian Rockies by train, and share that experience with your fellow MOAA members. However, we are a full service travel agency. So if you want to do the Canadian Rockies by train, but the date that our group departure on is not a date that works best with your schedule, we can get you a great offer on any date you want to go. In addition, Collette has hundreds of tours to offer all across the world. So if we go through this and you see the islands of New England and the Canadian Rockies by train, and there's another that you might like to do, let us know. We do actually have 14 different groups available in 2022 on Collette. Time does not permit us to go through all of them, so we're just highlighting two of the most popular. But when I send you the video this afternoon or tomorrow morning, I'll include a link to a web page that we have that's put together that will show you all of those tour options. So even if one of these group departures doesn't work for you, we'd still love to see you on a future Collette vacation. With that kind of housekeeping out of the way, I am going to turn it over to Jim Edwards, and Jim is going to talk to us about Collette. He is going to touch on COVID. I know a lot of people have questions about what it's like traveling in the current environment. I know Jim has traveled. I've been on a couple of cruises. I've traveled internationally. In fact, next week, I'm heading off to Europe again. So when we get done with the presentation, we will have time for Q&A. You can go ahead and put those in the chat now if you'd like. But yeah, if you have any questions, Jim and I can both speak to our personal experience about what traveling right now is like. I'll give you a hint, it's fantastic. It's everything it used to be although less crowded and the people are friendlier. So that's kind of my quick overview of travel post-COVID. So without any further ado, Jim, I'd like to turn it over to you, and we're all very interested to hear what you got to say.
Thanks so much, John. Thank you so much for all the folks that joined us this afternoon. We really appreciate that. And I also want to start by saying thank you for your service to the country. I really appreciate that. At Collette, we have a deep history of military service as well. Matter of fact, Dan Sullivan, second owner in the company, and actually bought the company in 1962. He actually served in World War II alongside General Patton. So again, just wanted to say thank you for your service to the country. As John mentioned, longtime partners. We've been partners for more than 2 decades, and John and his team are fantastic. Love working with them. And our goal today is to tell you a little bit about the state of travel, tell you a little bit about what travel looks like, as John mentioned. We've got a short video clip so you can actually see what that looks like, hear from our guests who have traveled with us, talk about the protocols a bit, and then we're going to highlight maybe some headlines that you may or may not have seen, particularly regarding the travel industry. And we're going to highlight those 2 great destinations, the Canadian Rockies as well as islands in New England. And what you see on the screen right now is one of my favorite quotes. We travel not to escape life, so life doesn't escape us. And boy, that over the last 18 months, that could not be further from being true. And certainly, I felt like the world has not been the same without travel. And travel is a great educator. We travel for wellness, exploration, experiences, and we were really happy we were able to lead the way last July in getting travel back on the road. And we did that last July in South Dakota. We actually operated many of our USA products last year and restarted international travel this April. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We continue to have folks join us. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. You're seeing kind of a collage of some of the great destinations that we serve around the world, and 160 itineraries on all 7 continents, something for everybody, different types of product lines, from small groups to our classics, to fun in the sun, to historical and food type of itineraries. Again, our goal is to talk about a few of these destinations and tell you all about what you're going to see and do. Just a quick video to give you some perspective. Maybe you haven't heard of Collette, some perspective of what to expect. Quick video.
Open up your eyes, the sky will tell you what there is to see. Let's wake up in a brand new place, shake up everything we believe. Is it possible it's more beautiful than we dream? Is it possible it was alright here this whole time within our reach? Let me show you the world, come away with me, till you've seen for yourself every mystery.
Their tour managers are excellent, their programs are excellent.
What we liked was having a guide that really knew the country.
Because of the tour manager, the trip was much better than it would have been on my own. He brought a lot of detail and history and information.
It has definitely been a trip of a lifetime.
Far more than we expected.
Let me show you the world, come away with me, till you've seen for yourself every mystery. We'll learn every secret and turn every stone, till there's no place we've been to that we can't call home. Let me show you the world, come away with me.
Absolutely, and we've been showing people the world for more than a century. We're actually the oldest travel company in the world, 104 years in business coming up on, and I've been proudly serving Collette for 25 of those years. So we certainly want to show you the world. Hopefully some of those photos and videos brought back some great memories, and that's really what travel does. And of course, you can travel the world with us, 160 itineraries on all 7 continents. And as John mentioned, several different departure dates on top of the itineraries. So if some of these dates do not work for you, no worries. Give John and his team a call. You can still get the savings, and depending on the date and the destination, even additional savings. So keep that in mind. If you haven't heard of Collette, if you're a wheel watcher, maybe you have, and you've seen us probably the last 25 years. We've been a great partner. In fact, Pat and Vanna go on location with us every fall. We shoot the commercials, and then we give away those trips from January through April. So pay attention. If you watch Wheel of Fortune, you'll see us next time. You might have seen us on some of the cable news networks as well. As a matter of fact, that song that you heard in the video, that's part of our brand standard. So anytime you hear that song, look for the Collette brand as well. And we're going to tell you a little bit about the differences with Collette. And as you can imagine, more than a century in business, we've seen our share of events over those years, from wars to, imagine starting the company in 1918, the first great pandemic. So we've kind of seen a thing or two over the century. I think everybody has a pandemic story, and we certainly have ours. This is really going to speak some differences with Collette. Number one, we're an American company, family owned and operated, based in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And we're going to tell you a little bit more about our pandemic story, and Jacqueline Labacote, our president, is going to do that for us.
As the vaccine rollout continues and the return of travel is on the horizon, we want to take a moment to reflect on the last year. One question that so many have asked me throughout this experience is, how did Collette get through this? The tourism and hospitality industry was devastated by COVID-19. How did you get through this? And the answer simply is, we did what we always do. We did the right thing. We put our customers first. And that was how we got through this, even though that was not easy in these unprecedented circumstances. We entered into 2020 on track to have the best year in our company's history, and then suddenly, the spirit of excitement was extinguished, and we were in the pandemic, and the world was in lockdown. And honestly, it was utter chaos in the beginning. This was a crisis we crashed into from the highest possible place. We had to cancel the majority of our tours and make incredibly difficult decisions. Many travelers out there were left with no choice but to take a future travel voucher. But we empowered our guests to make the best decision for them, whether it be rebooking for a later date, a future travel voucher, or your money back. And we gave over $135 million back to travelers in refunds, because we firmly believe we have not earned your money until your tour operates. We have done this during other crises, the housing crisis of 2008, 9/11, and others. We didn't see this as a decision. This is just what we do, what we have been doing for decades. Our financial stability has allowed us to protect our customers in both good times and in bad. We got through this by staying true to ourselves. We're a family business. Employees, partners, travelers, you're all a part of the family. We work hard to earn your trust, and we will always work hard to keep it. We are coming through this crisis with a strong sense of who we are. We are the company you can trust to always do the right thing and always put you first, no matter what is going on in the world. Today, we see hope on the horizon. With the vaccine rollout underway, the spirit of excitement is returning. Travel is coming back. For now, travelers can enjoy exploring within their own country, and eventually we will all be traveling the world again. And I think we will all appreciate it on a much deeper level. I know that I will. I can't wait to get back out there again and see you on the road.
Absolutely. And I wanted to show you that video just to talk about the difference in working with Collette and partners like MOAA Vacations, John and his team. It creates a lot of confidence to know that if the world goes sideways, you have a choice. We can either move your reservation to a later date. By the way, with Collette, we protect your price. Not going to go up if you move your reservation. Want to go somewhere else? No worries. We'll give you a voucher. You can use that maybe towards a trip somewhere else here closer to home. And we did that in 2020 with operating in the United States. Third option is a full money back refund. And actually, we've given back more than $150 million in money back refund, not future travel credits or vouchers, money back refund. So again, that drives a lot of confidence right now. Travel reservations for 2022 are very robust, and many destinations are sold out throughout the year. So it gives people a lot of comfort to know that if something goes wrong, you can get your money back. The vaccine campaigns and the rollouts have really driven a lot of confidence as well. As I mentioned, we traveled last year in the United States even before the vaccine campaigns were implemented. Since then, we've actually operated internationally. In April, we started with Costa Rica and Panama. We'll show you a little bit about that. You'll get to see for yourself. Right now, 50% of our population is vaccinated. Many parts of the world are above that. And most of Europe are 70, 75. I think I saw yesterday where Portugal is 85%. So a lot of the doctors believe that we're nearing herd immunity, which means that we're seeing cases drop. Certainly, we're seeing that over the last few weeks. Really what the genesis was for us to really have the confidence to start international travel again was this statement that many of you seen in April from the CDC that said if you're fully vaccinated, you want to travel internationally, you have little risk of getting sick. And again, that gave us confidence to restart international travel. And we did that in Central America. So the next video I'd like to show you is footage from that first trip operated in April, Costa Rica. You're going to hear from our guest talking about the destination. You're going to see for yourself what that looks like. And then we'll talk a minute about the protocols.
I really thought the day would never come. It's so liberating to finally be able to travel, plus in a place like Costa Rica. I just had to do this before any more time passed.
I was amazed at how diverse this country is. We went to the beach, the cloud forest, we watched dolphins swimming in the ocean. It's just amazing.
What better way to spend my 80th birthday? Pura vida!
That was awesome. I'm embarrassed because I'm tearing up.
This is the first time that I've been out of the country, and it was a fabulous trip of a lifetime for me.
We're blessed to be able to get out and go again. We've been traveling with Collette for 16 years, and it's just been an awesome experience. You know, you can't put off tomorrow because you don't know that tomorrow's going to come. So I'm just very grateful to be out here.
It was beyond my expectations. This has been a trip of a lifetime, but at the same time, it's really put the travel bug in me, and I can't wait to go out and do it again. And I really want to do this so much more, and learn all about these different countries and cultures and the people, and Collette really is the best.
This was a trip of a lifetime because it was a celebration of our 50th wedding anniversary. Costa Rica is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
The feeling I get traveling each time is just exhilaration, it's excitement. Go for it. It's safe to travel. Get up and go do it.
I love Costa Rica. If you haven't been, we actually talked about Costa Rica on Monday. So get in touch with John and his team. You can watch the video on the Costa Rica trip. It's coming up next year as well. But boy, I hope I can do some zip lining when I'm 80 years old and spend my birthday that way. I certainly hope so. That gives you a little bit of an idea of what travel looks like. And if you just joined us, could you go ahead and mute your volume, please?
Can't get
Your
the
audio.
volume. Trying to get the volume up. They were talking about these different customers were.
There we go. All righty. So as mentioned, we're talking a little bit about what does travel look like early on, smaller groups for us. We had 50% capacity when we first restarted travel in the United States in 2020, July of 2020. Since then, we've been pretty much operating at 70% capacity in Europe beginning in June through present time. We're at full capacity. I think organically we're getting smaller groups. Tour health screenings, wellness measures that are above and beyond what anybody experienced pre-COVID. Certainly the world is cleaner with the HEPA air filtration systems in the planes. Also the electrostatic cleaning that's going on. Face coverings certainly on the plane, indoor as well. I think honestly, I'm gonna wear a face covering when I fly from here on out. It just makes good sense. Effective with all of our tours departing beginning September 1st, internationally at least. We were just requiring a vaccine card as proof of your vaccine. Again, our goal is just to mitigate and keep everybody as safe as possible and healthy as possible. And we've been able to do that. Actually, we surveyed every guest who's traveled with us since July of 2020 when we restarted operations to present day, which we're operating several international departures now. 100% of our guests felt comfortable and safe while traveling with us, and 92% have given us an excellent overall rating, which is even higher than pre-COVID. So very, very happy with that. Just share a little bit with you as far as headlines that we've seen over the past few months. Most of the EU opened up in June. Most of the 27 EU countries. England opened up in July for Americans to visit. So we've been operating in Europe and England since August. Canada opened up the borders in August as well. We restarted travel for Americans to Canada. And you might have caught a few weeks ago that the administration hinted that the borders here were going to be open for the UK and European Union countries. That is now been given a hard date of November 8th. So all of these things point to great things for the travel industry, great things for our freedom to travel again, and confidence as well that is building. And I think we all are seeing the confidence. This is actually from today. Actually, it was from the Wall Street Journal. COVID cases down 22% as a country, even higher in some states. So that Delta variant is going away, and we're again starting to rebound. And that's all great news. Again, I think a lot has to do with the vaccine campaigns as well as herd immunity becoming more prevalent. All this means that we are traveling. So if you've not had a chance to travel over the last 18 months, certainly now's the time. We are actually operating 120 of our 160 itineraries. Canada, United States. These are all of our itineraries that are operating as of right now. Most of Europe, nearly all of Europe, and thousands of departure dates. Central America, Africa, Asia. Again, many destinations that are operating right now, and 2022 is going to be very robust. Several of our dates are sold out. So if you're interested in going, don't hesitate. Get in touch with John and his team to make your reservation. Again, what sets us apart is our experience, more than a century of experience. Even above and beyond that, we've been operating during this time. And I think we're all beginning to understand that this is probably an endemic, not a pandemic. So we're going to learn to live with it. Also trust. trust that you can know that if the world goes sideways, there's no worries, and we're going to do what's right by our partners and our guests. And if it means your money back, that is an option for you. We're going to talk about the Canadian Rockies leaving on August 15th, as well as our Islands of New England. September 23rd, I was just in New England. I was just in Providence, and I've been there many, many times. Our headquarters, by the way, is based in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, so I'm there pretty often. We're going to talk about these two great destinations. Before I do that, just to give you an idea of some of the different styles of travel with Collette, we have spotlights on certain cities, small group explorations with groups as small as 8, river cruising, our faith itineraries with devotion and mass included, to some great spiritual sites around the world, and our classic product, which is the Canadian Rockies and Islands of New England. Those would be 2 of those. Many people, maybe you haven't traveled on a guided tour before. It's a package that we include all the must-sees. We're going to talk a little bit about what to expect on a guided trip. Number 1, you're going to have somewhat of a personal concierge with you from start to finish. They're an expert. They're with you. It's a group that gets together from all parts of the area. MOAA are going to be groups where you can travel with other members, which is outstanding. We know you love to do that. But great hotel accommodations. We're always going to list our hotels in the itinerary. All the must-sees. We're going to handle your bags up and down from your hotel rooms. No worries there. Local guides on top of our tour manager that's with you every step of the way. And of course, we've been doing this for a while, so they're all professionally curated itineraries, and all the must-sees are included. Great meals, enriching cultural experiences. Sometimes that really brings the culture to life. So 60% of the dinners typically, and most of your breakfasts, we start from your door. Matter of fact, when you purchase an air-inclusive package with Collette, we're going to handle most U.S. gateways, more than 90 across the United States. As long as you're within 50 miles of an airport, we're going to pick you up and take you to and from the airport in a sedan. So that takes the stress out of getting to and from the airport. Again, that's with our air-inclusive packages. Again, all the must-see sites, admission fees. Of course, going in to see the Sydney Opera House and learning about the great acoustics, the Tower Bridge. You'll even see the Victorian engine rooms. We don't want to leave anything to chance. You see all the must-sees, great hotel accommodations, and boy, I can't wait to tell you about the Canadian Rockies, because you have 2 of my favorites. Not only the Chateau Lake Louise, it's right there in the middle of the photo, but also my favorite hotel in the world, the Banff Springs Hotel on the left. We're always going to name our hotels. We want you to search those. Check TripAdvisor. Selling feature for us, castles in Europe. Definitely take a look at those. A lot of multiple night stays. We're not going to take you and hop from hotel to hotel. Nice, easy pace. And again, I mentioned about 60% of your dinners are included, breakfast daily. Some of your lunches are scattered in there. We try to make some of these culturally inclusive experiences, sometimes even a cooking class, home hosted meals in New Zealand. So wonderful cuisine. By the way, wine always goes very free on our tours, sometimes freer than the water. And most of our tours have choice on tour. These are inclusions that you have an option to decide which direction you want to go. Again, keep in mind, great partners with MOAA Vacations. You're going to have a $50 off per person, all the way up to $100 off, depending on the itinerary. Just wanted to showcase John and his team's phone number as well as the email if you have questions. And we're going to jump right into the Canadian Rockies. So if you joined us, you're interested in going, we'd love to show you this part of the world. August 15th to the 23rd, it's 9 days. Great sites all along the way. Some natural beauty that is really unmatched. It's certainly the road less traveled. We'll be traveling among the towering trees. Stanley Park in Vancouver, we'll see the public market. We'll travel through the Fraser Valley, admire really postcard-worthy landscapes as we journey along Kicking Horse River, stay in the unbelievable, remarkable hotels of the Fairmont properties that were built by the Canadian Pacific Railroad century ago, sometimes even more than 100 years ago. Let me show you a map of what you're going to experience. Again, we're going to fly into Vancouver. Our first night is there, and we're going to see the sights. We'll talk about that a little bit further. Then we're on board the train. It is a 5-star train experience, by the way. Via Rail's Canadian. We're going to overnight. Don't worry, we're not going to sleep through the scenery. That first section, not the most spectacular, but once you wake up for breakfast, amazing scenery all the way through. We're going to spend 2 nights in Jasper, travel down the Icefields Parkway to Lake Louise, stay the night at the Chateau, 2 nights, again, at my favorite hotel, the Banff Springs Hotel, and then finish up in Calgary. Again, 9 days, iconic hotels. This is the Chateau Lake Louise. It's tucked away 14 miles from anything. Gorgeous setting on the lake. Many organizations, many groups, they might travel to this area. They may go to the chateau and maybe have lunch and take a tour around the public areas. But our guests are going to go upstairs to the room and they're going to have some just amazing experience staying at the hotel. Some of the highlights, again, just wonderful scenery. Blind Canyon, breathtaking. We'll start out by experiencing Vancouver and a sightseeing tour of this great coastal city. We'll see Athabasca Glacier. You'll have a chance to either walk on the glacier that's 1,000 feet thick, or maybe walk across the top of the glacier 1,000 feet high. So the choice will be yours. But again, just a shot of some of the hotels. 2 nights again at Banff Springs Hotel. It is the looks like a Bavarian castle tucked away in the Rockies. It actually was built of Rundle stone in 1888 by the Canadian Pacific Railroad. The chateau is a little younger, built in the early 1900s, and just as beautiful. Storybook setting. And again, we're going to overnight on train. It's going to be a wonderful experience. Viewing the coastal forest, the roaring river canyons, lofty mountain peaks, waterfalls, just gorgeous. Get a chance to see some of the scenery. It's going to be fantastic. Hope you can join us. Again, we start out in Vancouver, the West Coast city that's comprised of various neighborhoods. Of course, it's famous for Gastown and Granville Island. It's got a great Chinatown, Stanley Park. It was the home of the 2010 Winter Olympics. We're going to head over to Stanley Park and see this great area. We're going to go to Gastown as well. After dinner, we're going to board the incomparable Via Rail's Canadian. and we'll begin our journey to the majestic Canadian Rockies. This is actually, we'll board the train after dinner in Vancouver. So we'll board with hors d'oeuvres and wine being served. Again, this is a white glove experience. Order off the menu, hot meals for breakfast and lunch. Scenery is breathtaking as we pass by. We'll sleep on board the train that first night in private accommodations. And I've got a picture of the train cabin as well. Again, hot order off the menu, breakfast and lunch. Farm to table cuisine, it's just breathtaking. Of course, we have the dome car for 360 degree of scenery everybody has access to. Spectacular glaciers of the ice fields. British Columbia is just amazing. Pyramid Falls crashing down through the mountains. Storybook postcard setting, there's no doubt about it. On a clear day, you'll spot Mount Robson, the highest peak in the Rockies. Be on the lookout for the wildlife. It is abundant. Moose, mountain goats, bear, caribou. They call this mountain landscape home. It's spectacular. You'll be able to step out on the back of the train, take photos as well. We're going at a fairly slow pace, so no worries. You'll be able to get some great video or photos of the elk. Moose, by the way, they walk right through the town of Jasper, so be careful. They are wild animals, but it's amazing to see the wildlife up close and personal that way. Just a little bit of a shot of the train itself again. The dining car, the 360 degree domed car. And then bottom right is going to show you the room. Your room will be configured during the day where you have room to move about, get around. Each room has its own washroom. So you've got a restroom facility there, just no shower. So we recommend that you pack an overnight bag, no worries. There is showers in each car, so if you really wanted to take a shower, you can do that. And there's towels and amenity bag as well. And then you can see the nighttime configuration as well for 1 or 2 people. 19 hours total on board. In the about noon, lunchtime, early afternoon, we're going to arrive in Jasper. And this is a shot of downtown Jasper. It's a lovely town, fairly small town in the beautiful Canadian Rockies. This is going to be our jump off point. We're there 2 nights. We travel to Malign Lake, cruise along the sparkling waters, amazing mountain peaks, second largest glacier lake in the world. And it's spectacular, really June through September. So again, I think John and his team picked a great departure date with August 15th. The beautiful canyons and waterfalls. Natural landmark eroded out of the limestone about 365 million years ago. We'll then set off for a wonderful day sightseeing en route to Lake Louise, that fabulous hotel tucked away in the Rockies. This is going to take us down about a 160-mile stretch from Jasper that connects to Lake Louise, called the Icefields Parkway. And it's rated as one of the most spectacular drives in the world. We're going to stop along the way, have some fresh air, get off the motor coach, take in the picturesque waterfalls. By the way, the rest of the way is by motor coach. We'll see the rivers, glacier peaks, cliffs, the mountaintops. Just amazing scenery. Again, wildlife will be dotting that 160-mile stretch every step of the way. Natural beauty, Athabasca Falls of Glacier National Park. And this is an area, when we stop at the Columbia ice fields, you'll have a chance to go out on a snow coach. Those wheels are 6 feet tall. And that coach is going to roll out onto a 1,000-foot glacier. You'll get a chance to walk out on the glacier, drink from the glacier waters, or right to the right, you'll see the glacier skywalk. So that's 1,000 miles above the glacier. So you can either walk on a 1,000-foot glacier or be above about 1,000 feet. So the option is yours. It's included. You just have to pick which direction you want to go. And that's what we call choice on tour. Again, we'll continue down the parkway. Amazing wildlife. Be on the lookout for bear, the stately elk. Actually, Jasper National Park is home to more than 100 grizzly bear. Again, postcard landscape every step of the way. This is Peyto Lake, which reminds people a lot of a fox. If you look down at the far right, kind of looks like a fox's head. Just pure serenity with turquoise glacier-fed lakes that we're going to see in this area. Vibrant blue colors. Get that with glacier rock flower, that's the silt-sized particles that kind of etch out of that glacier erosion and flows into the lake during the summer months. And you just get that spectacular color. Finally, we're going to arrive into stunning Lake Louise. Beautiful. Again, many people go, they just have lunch. We're staying the night. And we're going to have a diner's choice. This is a little bit different. So not only do you order off the menu, but you have a menu of different restaurants to choose. So this is unique. And in both of these hotels, you'll have a wonderful experience with cuisine. Your choice. Again, it'll be a fantastic overnight. We'll then leave Lake Louise. We'll head to Banff. We'll stop off at a great area. We're going to see amazing, clear, vibrant blue, green waters and moraine lake. Again, postcards certainly don't do it justice when you get there. You'll get the true sense of the beauty. Just the mountaintops, sawtoothed, somewhat offering a contrast in view, and this creates beautiful landscape. And then it's on to my favorite hotel in the world. And again, I've been with Collette 25 years. I've seen a lot of the world. This is my favorite. It was built in 1888. It's the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. It's known as the Castle in the Rockies. Again, many people, many groups, many organizations would go for lunch and take a tour of the remarkable hotel. We're going to stay two nights at this luxurious hotel. Again, situated between tall pines, sparkling river. It's also nestled on top of hot springs. So you'll have a chance for spa too. The hotel itself is designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Famous landmark in the town of Banff. Banff is a fairly small town. 7 restaurants, 2 bars, there's a spa, there's a golf course, by the way. If you want to play golf, I got to warn you, you got to play through the elk. It's very common to have elk down on the lawns of the hotels, but amazing. This is one of the dining options for you. Again, there's 7 restaurants. We have diner's choice here. Not only do you get the order off the menu, but with your selection, but you have a menu of restaurants. Again, very unique with Collette. The following morning, we're setting off for a scenic drive through Banff, stop at Bow Falls. By the way, this is the little town of Banff. We'll stroll along the delightful downtown lined with shops and restaurants. Of course, you can imagine in the wintertime, it's a pretty busy ski resort as well. I've skied at Banff. It's wonderful too. It's fantastic in the summertime when you're going to be there. Streets are lively, but don't be surprised if you see some wildlife herd crossing the road. It could be an elk. You might see a moose wander in. It's pretty typical. We're going to finish up as we make our way to Calgary. We're going to leave the Peaks and Rockies behind and head for the prairies of Alberta on the way to the valley. We'll stop off at a ranch. and have a wonderful opportunity to meet a family that lives here. And you'll learn about ranching in Canadian Rockies. And of course, Calgary is, I'd say is probably very similar to Houston. Some oil, some ranches there. We're gonna have a delightful lunch. Again, we really learn about the culture through the people, and we want you to meet family that lives here and gain insight into the daily life on the ranch. We finish up in Calgary last night, and certainly a wonderful experience. 9 days comes to an end. We'll have a wonderful farewell dinner toast, celebrating an end to a memorable trip of a lifetime for many. It's one of those itineraries that's on the bucket list for many. Only thing we need to hold your seat is $600 per person. You can pay that with credit card or check. That's 100% refundable up until February 15th of next year. So if you change your mind, no worries. We've already got several people signed up. So if you came, you're interested in going on this trip, don't hesitate, don't wait. That price that you see there actually is for 2 people sharing a room. That's per person for 2 people sharing a room, or $1,500 additional if you're traveling alone. And that includes air from most of the East Coast gateways for airfare and tax. You see there, it includes land, air, and tax from the East gateways, hotel, and hometown transfers. What we mean by that is your pickup at your home, door-to-door service, as well as the Collette guide. That price also includes your MOAA discount. And if you're looking for land only, $549 is a land only package. And again, $600 deposit will hold your seat, and it's 100% refundable up until February 15th. Keep in mind also, we service more than 90 airport gateways across the country. So if you're flying from another area, no worries, just let John and his team know. Just to summarize, August 15th through the 23rd, $600 deposit, fully refundable for any reason up until February 15th. Final payment is not going to be due until 60 days before departure. And again, this price includes your round trip air and tax for most East gateways, your transfers, your door-to-door service, discount, and of course there's an option for land only package as well. We do have a trip webpage, so I encourage you to go to MOAA Vacations website, and you'll see the Canadian Rockies trip information there. Just click on that page. It'll take you to the full itinerary. You'll even see all the know before you go information, and you'll be able to get as much information as you want right there. We're then going to change gears, switch gears here, and go into the islands of New England. This trip departs September 23rd. It's 8 days. And we're going to take in, again, exploring New England's charms, the cobblestone streets of Nantucket, to seeing the harvest of cranberry bogs. We'll step back in time at see the Plymouth Rock, Provincetown. We'll even dine on Federal Hill, right down the street from our hotel in Providence. It's a great trip and a wonderful time to be there. Just majestic coastline. You're going to see Martha's Vineyard as well. Again, a map of the area. This is a great itinerary because we're 3 nights in Providence, 4 nights right in Cape Cod. It's wonderful. Again, we list all of our hotels. I've stayed at the Hilton Providence so many times. It's on Atwells Road, right at the end of Federal Hill. So it's walking distance to all the great restaurants. And there's a shot of our hotel, Cape Cod. It's a beachfront hotel, as you can see. So much to see, so much to do. Again, a great pace. 3 nights in Providence, 4 nights on Cape Cod. We're going to also visit Newport and see the mansions of Bellevue Avenue. I mentioned Nantucket and the picturesque beaches and lighthouses. We'll obviously have great cuisine every step of the way, including lobster. Got to have some clam chowder, by the way. Again, as I mentioned, air is available from most U.S. gateways. Just let us know where you're coming from. We've included air actually on this itinerary from Dallas or the Southwest gateways. And I've got a quick video. This is going to give you a great shot of what to expect on the islands of New England.
Today we're in Newport visiting the Marble House. William actually built this house as a birthday gift at a cost of $11 million.
We just arrived here in Boston and we are at the Paul Revere Mall. And of course we had to do some wonderful shopping. Now I'll continue and be listening.
Having a lot of fun. This is a beautiful area, and the cranberries are phenomenal. Oh, this is a bad one, right?
We are at Plymouth Plantation learning about our early ancestors and all that they had to do and all the ways they had to live so that we can do what we do now.
We're at the Methodist campground in Oak Bluffs on Martha's Vineyard. They started out as tents and they are now gingerbread houses here.
I love the lobster.
What a wonderful itinerary. So we begin in Providence, the capital of Rhode Island. Again, we stay at the Hilton, right down the street from Federal Hill. That's where all the great restaurants are located. That welcome dinner will be at Tavalo's Wine and Tuscan Grill. It's fantastic. I was just there a month ago. Wonderful. The city was founded in 1636 by Roger Williams. We'll see Brown University, learn about the city's vibrant art, cultural, and culinary scene. It's really been a renaissance in Providence over the last maybe 2 decades. It's a very big foodie area, and Brown is one of the oldest universities in America. It was established back in 1764. Wonderful. We're going to see Newport, including the Newport Bridge, the Cliff Walk, downtown area. Wonderful clam chowder in Newport, I highly recommend. Matter of fact, there's a few mansions there too. We'll see America's Gilded Age as we travel through the breathtaking Ocean Drive and route to Bellevue Avenue, lined with extraordinary 19th century, they say they're cottages, but I think we can say they're mansions. 7 mansions that are designated National Historic Landmarks. Certainly the rich and famous families that were here, the Astors, the Vanderbilts. You'll have a choice to visit one of these, either Marble House or Rose Cliff. Marble House was built by the Vanderbilts, Mr. and Mrs. William K. Vanderbilt. Or you could see Rose Cliff, another opulent formal residence of a Silva heiress. Actually, both of these mansions, they actually filmed The Great Gatsby. The original Great Gatsby was filmed at the Marble House, and there was a second one that was filmed with Leonardo DiCaprio as a star a little later on. So they filmed over at Rosecliff. So it's wonderful. You'll have a chance to see these great properties. We'll see New England Island, start with a ferry ride over to Block Island. Great taste of local flavors at a restaurant before touring the island, like shrimp, clams, chowder, lobster. If you don't, no worries, there's plenty of steak and chicken too. We're going to visit a micro yarn mill, learn about the process before you meet the animals. Later, we're going to ferry back to the mainland. We'll have an evening in Providence. We're also going to see the New England Cranberry Bog, home to over 14,000 acres of cranberry bogs. Really, it's a crop that flourishes in the wetlands, where the low vines can find adequate soil and water. Cranberry plants have been in this area for 150 years. Ocean spray is right here in the backyard. They're used for fruits, fresh fruits. They harvest products. You'll learn all about it. We're going to tour a bog. We're also going to step back in time and stop and celebrate the town of Plymouth, where the Pilgrims landed in 1620 with a visit to Plymouth. 400-year anniversary was back in 2020. You're going to see the famous rock. If you haven't seen it before, I thought it was going to be a lot bigger. This is, of course, the site where it's believed many of the pilgrims disembarked from the Mayflower. We're also going to experience a traditional New England experience as we indulge in the seafood and lobster feast. It's going to be wonderful. There's nothing like it. Like lobster, it'll be a wonderful evening. We'll even teach you how to get every little morsel. We'll take a ferry ride into beautiful Martha's Vineyard. The ferries are pretty short, 20, 30 minutes, no worries, very quick. The vineyard is known for its picturesque bluffs, quaint villages, and summer houses. It's also been a famous filming location for Steven Spielberg's Jaws, known for visits by presidents and royalty. A lot of stars here as well. It's hosted presidents and stars like David Letterman and James Taylor, Bill Murray. You'll see some of the gingerbread style cottages. They were once famous whaling port with captain's walks that you see up there in the windows, or widow's walks. We'll later then depart, cruise back to Cape Cod. We'll then travel to Provincetown, located at the tip of the Cape, known as P-Town. It's a lively artist colony. It remains famous for its crafts and bright seagoing fare. Wonderful experience here. It's your choice. You can set out on a whale watching cruise or embark on an adventure on the sand dunes. Again, this is one of those choices on tour. It's included, but it's your choice which direction that you choose. We'll catch a glimpse of Camelot era in Hyannisport, famous for the Kennedy compound. We'll reflect on the past with a visit to the Kennedy Memorial. So much to see, so much to do. Another island, great island of Nantucket, approximately 30 miles from the mainland. Beautiful cobblestone main street, beaches, lighthouses. Truly lives up to its reputation of a top vacation spot. And later on tonight, we have a wonderful farewell dinner, a chef-led demonstration highlighting a local specialty, of course, lobster. It'll be wonderful. And again, hopefully you like the lobster. If not, there's plenty of other options for you. Again, just like Canadian Rockies trip, $600 per person holds your seat, 100% refundable up until March 23rd. And we've included in the price air from the Southwest gateways of the United States, air and tax. Your transfers are also included, even your door-to-door airport transfers, as long as you're within miles of one of the major airports. Your member discount is included as well, your MOAA member discount. If you're traveling and you want just a land package, $26.49. If you're going to do the air on your own, no worries. Again, deposit is refundable up until March 23rd. And we really serve air from all gateways. So just let John and his team know if you need air from some other location. And again, just to summarize, September 23rd through the 30th, it's 8 days. Don't hesitate. The September departure right before this one is already sold out for next year, believe it or not. So this is a very popular time to be there. We'd love you to join us. Again, go to the MOAA Vacations web page. You'll see the trip listed there. Click right on the islands of New England. It'll take you to the full itinerary day by day. All the know before you go information as well. And again, just to give you those websites and how to get a hold of John and his team at 800-221-5107, mail at MOAAVAC.com. And John, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Sure. We had a number of questions. I don't know if everybody was in the chat, so I'm going to try to run through those real quick in case everybody didn't see them. They are in the chat if you want to kind of see the whole conversation. Somebody asked on Canadian Rockies about the space that we have or how long we are holding the space. We actually have our own bus on Canadian Rockies. It has 40 seats. We've sold 6 couples, so that's 12 people. So we have 28 seats remaining. When those are gone, they're gone. So there's no really way at this juncture to get a second bus. So I think the question was, how long will the seats be available? The seats will be available till they're gone. Somebody asked about COVID. They might have asked that before you covered it, Jim, but vaccinations are currently required. None of us can sit here and say what the requirements are going to be a year from now. You know, the belief of everybody in the industry is eventually everything will go back to normal. But will that be next year? Will it be a year and a half? Will it be 6 months? Nobody really knows. A couple people asked about price with air from specific gateways. I heard from Mike, I think like 5 or 6 people have emailed him already. Just reach out to Mike. You can use that mail at MOAA VAC address, or I put it in the comments. It's Mike. It's MOAA VAC, so short for vacations, MOAAVAC.com. He's handling both of these groups, so he'll be the one that will help you with any questions or specific comments you might have. I don't see any other questions. I realize we're just a few minutes past 3 o'clock, so we ran just a little long. If no one has any questions, as I said, call us on the 800 number, drop us an email. We're more than happy to take any questions that you might have. For the people who came in late, who are still with us, we will email everybody a copy of the presentation so you can watch the beginning and see what you missed. All the travel we do is open to both MOAA members and guests. So you can share the video with your friends and you can bring them along on any MOAA trip you do. So just in conclusion, I want to thank everybody for showing up today. This is our last webinar of the month. You will get a little information. Next month, we have one in November. I think it's November 16th, but you'll get more information on that when it's a little closer. So once again, thanks everybody for attending. Jim, I'll turn it over to you for the last word.
Yes, sir. Thank you, John. Again, I just want to say thanks to John and his team. They do a wonderful job. They've been great partners over the years. And again, I'd like to thank the MOAA members for joining, and special thank you for your service to the country. We appreciate that and look forward to showing you the world with Collette. Thanks so much.
Bye, everyone. See you soon.